All right, Saturday, April the 11th, and just coming up 12 noon. Les and I have been working around, just tidying up a little bit and just rearranging some tables, moving some stuff out to make a little bit of space in order to get the body off today. We've brought the shop crane and our harness. So we've got about 7 fasteners, I think it was, 7 or 9, I can't remember from yesterday, that we need to remove in order to get the body off, or at least we think that's what we need to remove. We'll find out shortly. So that's what the plan is, to work on those fasteners first of all, and then we'll see if we can get the body off. We'll see if we can get it to budge before we actually attach the ropes up to the shop crane. Obviously we're going to have to put the body back down on the chassis off of the jack stands to be able to get enough height to lift the body off the frame. So we will do that once we get the rest of the fasteners out. Sound like a plan, Les?
Yep, plan.
All right, let's go to work. Okay, so all of the fasteners are now out of the interior. So we've got Les working on the bottom here. It's easier probably for Les to go to the bottom and get a socket on this one here.
Hey.
There's a little channel in the frame that there's a nut that is on the bottom of this bolt here. So Les is going to put a socket on there. I'm going to buzz this off the top. Okay, the remaining 2 engine bay mounts are off. I've just got Les removing this rubber plug here at the rear. Not that one there, Les, yeah. So generally what I'll do is I'll hook my attachment points. No, I don't need that one removed. I'll hook my rear attachment points here with my rope sling, and I'll use these pickup points here at the front with my rope sling. I'll attach that up and I'll show you when it's attached before we get ready for liftoff. Getting pretty exciting, eh, Les?
Oh yeah, the door doesn't fit no more.
Yeah, that's because it's up on jack stands.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So one of the guys was asking me if this trim piece, the one around the wheel wells, is a factory trim piece. And
It tricked you.
no, it's not factory. Now I have seen one 73 TR6 that's an original owner car that has trim like this, but I doubt it's like this. This is just adhesive stick-on stuff that we can just peel off with our hands. I think, yeah, so this is just the adhesive type, but I have seen one car that, like I said, is an original owner car that had something like this on the car. But anyway, fenders look okay, so I'm not sure why I put these on. I guess he just wanted a little accent to that British racing green. Jazzed it up a little bit. Are we going to put this stuff back on, Les? With white walls? What do you think?
Radials.
Radial white walls. Okay, so Les has something to say. So he's talking about donkeys. So go ahead, tell me your donkey story.
Hi ladies and gentlemen. On this Good Friday of Easter weekend, or it's Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Saturday, yeah.
I'm here with Mr. Tush working on this car. He's telling me, guys, that I need to now drop the chassis onto the floor only because I requested.
So I'm telling,
yeah,
so I basically,
finish talking,
oh,
David.
sorry, I'll let you finish, Les.
And David, who says he's the project leader,
Manager.
says you donkeys don't need to know, just do what I say. And how do I look ahead if my master leader doesn't give me the foresight and tell me?
Okay, so now Les, you don't need to look ahead because I'm telling you exactly know what to do. I said, isn't it easier as a worker if I just tell you what you need to do? You don't even have to think about it. It's like if I tell you to go chop garlic in a corner, you just go chop garlic in a corner. You don't even have to think about anything. You just go and chop garlic. So here I'm just telling you to take the safety stands out from underneath the car. That's all you really need to know, Les. Just take the stands out.
David,
No questions.
David,
just take the stands out.
David, what year is it? What year is it, David?
I don't know, Les. Middle Ages?
It's
Working
20,
with you?
right? It's 1920, isn't it?
Yeah, feels like 1920.
It's 2020.
I think that's when you were born.
It's 2020. Okay, so that means in this society.
Are you going to give me a kinder, gentler kind of thing? I need to take you by the hand?
Your donkey.
Eh?
I'm your equal. Not your equal.
All right, so Les, take the safety stands out from underneath the car.
Yes, sir. Anything else?
Okay, so I just wanted to show we've got the rope sling attached to the front pickup points here. So that's attached there. Les had fun going under the car and doing these pickup points here with some large washers underneath. We're going to set the engine hoist here in the middle, and we're going to lift from this side. But of course, as I mentioned to Les, this car has to be on the ground because we don't have the lift height of the crane to be able to lift the body over the highest part of the car, which will be the top of the engine. Right, Les? Is that enough information for you to work
I'm
with?
socially distancing myself 6 feet from you, Dave.
Oh, that's great. Can you make it 12 feet?
Lower it down.
Yep. Slowly.
Like downtown Super Dave.
Okay, so car's back on the ground. We'll put together the shop crane and hook up the harness, and we'll begin liftoff, hopefully. You excited, Les?
Yeah, I want to see what the frame really looks like.
All right, here we go. Okay, don't know if this body's ever been off. We'll have a quick look at it.
Well, the front section looks good.
Well, you really need to get in there with a pick hammer and a screwdriver. These are the critical sections here. Oh, you got some rust here on your t-shirt. Looks like these have been replaced. You can see that's not factory. It doesn't look factory to me anyway. That's not necessarily a bad thing, just how well it's been done. So we got some rust on the top t-shirt section, and I'm sure we could fix that up, no problem.
Where the exhaust goes through.
Yeah. The bottom plate on this exhaust, less than I'd noticed that it had been changed already, so that's already been done. So
this is a little bit right here.
this looks a little suspect here. These usually crack out here. This is the diff mounts, and you can see one's cracked through here. Usually you do a reinforcement on the top of these, Les.
Plate.
So it's the rear frame, and there's that damage I was talking about on the rear on this side.
Yeah. Look at the bar.
A little crumpled.
So
Pretty bent there.
the bars. Can you get them bars?
No, but you can refabricate that, and we're gonna probably have to get that straightened if we were using this. That leads me to believe that it's been hit sideways. So let me come around the other side.
Not really. Straight. Looks straight.
Anyway, we can check out the Bentley manual and get some measurements taken. See how square or not this is. So yeah, there's the first look of this chassis in a while. Again, I'm not sure if they've took the body off initially to do this repair here at the trailing arms. Anyway, we'll have a better look at it once we clean it up a little bit, and we'll do some more poking and prodding. But it's good to have the body off. Just got that sitting here inside. So I think what we'll do is we'll sweep up this area a little bit. We'll just bring the chassis in here beside it and put the body on a little bunk, and then so I think what the next plan for this is we're going to strip this chassis down regardless, because we need the components pretty much for the other car, or some of the components. Obviously the engine and the tranny are going in the other car, drive shaft, etc., exhaust. So I believe the other car has suspension in it, brakes, differential, and that's pretty much about it. So we'll pick the best of the components that we have, and we'll pick the best frame that we have, make any repairs that need to happen. And of course Les is going to do lots of scrubbing and painting. I can see that in his future. And get this cleaned up, and we'll start reassembly at some point. But anyway, let me get the shop cleaned up a little bit and organized, and we'll bring this back inside. You keep an eye on the car, okay?
I got a lot of work ahead of me.
So what we're going to do now, if you can hear me up there, Les and I are going to probably go get the covered trailer. We're going to put the body in it. We're going to store the body in there up at our storage location. We're going to move the chassis over. We're going to put that up on jack stands, and we're going to start tearing that apart. So that's what the plan is. So I think what we're going to do is head up to storage, grab the trailer. We'll do that.
Oh, wait. Camera, for fuck's sakes.
Don't swearing.
Sorry, man. Like,
Yeah. Oh, you knocked them over, Les.
well, I didn't touch it.
You kicked them in the head.
The thing hit it.
You kicked all the viewers in the head. We're going to strap this guy down, take her up to storage. Alright, back from storage, and just working on centering up the chassis in the garage, or in Les's shop, and then we'll get some stands under it, and we'll call it a night. So I'll come back with one more quick update before we go. Alright guys, just coming up to 6 p.m. We're done for today. So we've got the chassis situated where we want to in Les's shop. It's up on stands, ready to go for next steps. So we'll start stripping this down. Not sure when we're going to get out here next, possibly tomorrow maybe. And we'll get this down to a bare chassis pretty quickly. I would say it'll probably take us a couple days to do that. It should be fairly easy from here, as long as the fasteners cooperate with us. It should come apart pretty quickly from this stage. So yeah, so there it is in all its glory. One last wander around the car before we head home for dinner. Just having a look at the wheel bearings on the front are quite loose. It'll be interesting to see what the other frame looks like on the primer body. See if it's any better than this frame. So once we strip this car down, we'll go and retrieve the primer car, and we'll do the same thing. We'll get the body off and have a look at the frame under that car, and then we'll make a determination on what frame we want to use. Alright, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Have a good night. Oh, I just couldn't resist. You think this car needs new bushings? What do you think? I think those are the most perished bushings I've ever seen in my life. Those are horrible. So, it's good for a laugh. And that's pretty much about it. Wow, those are bad. Holy jumpins.